welcome to my channel. I hope that you are watching this and you are all comfy cozy just as much as I am. I'm not gonna, it felt right getting this out again. But anyway, today's video, we're gonna take it back. How far back, you might ask? You might be wondering. Let me tell you, we are gonna take it back to the 90s. And as we go through the little list that I made on my tablet, I hope that everyone gets the vision. I hope everyone understands what I am talking about. Because I posted a thing about this, I think kind of somewhat recently on Instagram, on some of the stuff that I just miss from that era. And if you clicked on this video, you're in the same boat. You know, then I hope, again, you get that nostalgia feeling as well. Maybe you miss these things just as much as I do. So, sit back, relax. Grab a snack and a drink if you like. And let's just dive into this. So, I'm going to turn my tablet on. And go to the notes. We're going to call this, growing up in the 90s, a nostalgic moment. So, I have a few different topics. So, the first one, I guess we'll just kind of call it like topic number one. I didn't really have like a specific title for this one. Just like a bunch of, you know what, random topics, we'll call it. Cartoons. Raise your hand if you miss the cartoons. Like, sometimes I will sit here and reminisce about that moment. You know, that feeling of watching that certain cartoon for the first time. You know, you got Nickelodeon shows such as Rugrats, Hey Arnold, Real Monsters, Ren and Stimpy, all that. The list goes on. You know, to a time where Nickelodeon was good. It's the same thing with Disney. And Cartoon Network. Oh my god. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Ed, and Eddie. Dexter's Laboratory. Again, the list literally goes on. I always look forward to watching those shows. And now I have certain ones on DVD right now. Like, I have some seasons of Rugrats. I have the box series of Hey Arnold, as well as Cat Dog, Angry Beavers. I have, I think, some seasons moment of rocket power. Again, the list goes on, you know. And again, I miss that. Like, take me back, you know. Like, anytime I look at some of those channels now, I'm just kind of like, what happened? You know? Just, what happened? It kind of just, you know, I mean, I get it. You know, as years go on, obviously I know, of course, they're gonna make different shows. You know, as years go on, if I can talk, things obviously are gonna change. You know, there's gonna be like an upgrade, if you will. But it's still just not the same anymore. I think for me, like Disney, I think once stuff like Hannah Montana and whatnot came on, it wasn't for me. Now, I don't hate Miley or anything like that. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. The show just, it wasn't for me. You know, I never got into it. I get no hate to her, anyone else on the show, you know, but it wasn't for me. Again, it was kind of like the same thing with Nickelodeon, you know, and I mean, for that one, I kind of hate that I don't quite remember the point where I stopped. No, I was gonna say, oh, at one point after, I don't remember the season of SpongeBob, it might have been, or some, I don't remember exactly, but you know, I mean, again, just the simple stuff I miss, you know, playing outside until dark. I hope we've all been there. Being outside until the street lights came on, you knew it was time to get inside. You know, you said bye to your friends, went inside, and did whatever, depending on the day. You know, being outside, riding your bike, scooters. I know me and my sister did that. I mean, I don't know if we still have videos, but I know there are some, maybe, still, I don't know. Not knowing what depression was. You know, if I can definitely go back to that point, that would be great. When I didn't even know what mental health meant. What being sad all the time was. Now, for me, of course, that stuff started in 2015. I hate to say it, after my last relationship. I always hate saying that. You know, even though I know it's his loss, he's the POS. You know, that's a story for another time, maybe. But that one right there I miss, probably one of the most. It's kind of tied at the top. Last but not least, keeping a diary. Like, I mean, I know, you know, there's notebooks and stuff, you know, that you can keep all that stuff in about whatever it is, you know, but I don't know, something about having one that locks no one could get in. I miss that sometimes. I don't know why. You know, I've shown on here one of my last videos. I think actually the last video. The simple things that make me happy video. I show that I keep a notebook. A mental health notebook. I feel like that was kind of like setting me up so many years later. You know? Kind of something to think about in a way. Next topic. Music. Now, we could probably be here all day. I've mentioned so many times how nostalgic, like if you looked at my playlist on YouTube Music, like literally 99% of it is that era. Early 90s, early 2000s vibes. You got NSYNC, which probably not really a surprise there. I got a little bit of Britney on there. Some Christina. Old School Justin. Backstreet Boys. O-Town. Again, the list goes on. I miss it so much. Which you can kind of like add that into what I wrote listening to the radio. You know? It takes me back. Always, of course. Because I don't really listen to it too much now, of course, you know? Or listening to your favorite cassette tape. Like on a loop almost. I know I've been there. And I'm sure we all have. Maybe you're sitting around. You're on a road trip in the car. Or you're just outside. Where you have your headphones on. You got your Walkman. Wow. You got that favorite cassette tape in there playing. You're getting lost in the music. And you feel like you are in a music video. I see those memes every now and again, and I relate so much to it. I did that quite a lot. With Millennium. Cassette tape. Which, I still have that. I'm pretty sure it's in my closet here. That's like the one that I actually still have. I know I probably had NSYNC, but that probably got lost in the last house after our basement flooded. I hate that I lost so much in that, you know? But, yeah. Taping your favorite show. Now, I know me and my sister, of course, we did that. There was we probably maybe still have it somewhere. Probably in this garage. Well, we didn't have a garage in the last house, but I lost my train of thought. Oh, we taped a episode of Barney and watched that constantly. When NSYNC did their Madison Square Garden special, man, I hope we still have that somewhere in a way. I know obviously they're, obsolete, but kind of hope still. Even though I have that now on DVD. And it's the simple stuff, you know. Last but not least, watching TRL. I think about that moment so much. You know? Or, you know, just back when, like, again, I made a tweet about this recently. I miss when MTV was just about the music. That era right there. I can't really stand to watch too much on there now. Like, the only thing that I can stand to watch anymore on MTV is ridiculousness. Other than that, I can't do it. I never got into Jersey Shore or just some of the other stuff that's on there, you know. I can't. I miss when MTV was actually about the music so much. Alright, last topic. No Wi-Fi. Again, who of us grew up without Wi-Fi existing? Was it a thing? Where you just went on your computer to play just certain things? Listening to that dial-up noise from AOL. I know we all heard it just now. I know I did. Granted, I don't miss that awful sound, but I still kind of miss it though. So, first up, I have computer games. And I wrote down some that I played a lot. And again, I hope everyone else here is the same. Solitaire. You know, you got to pick out what cover or whatever, you know, you wanted. I missed that in a way, you know. That goes kind of the same with Free Cell. I didn't write that down, but Minesweeper. I never really got the point, but I played it a lot. I would get on a roll, and then that bomb would show up. Like, okay. Hangman. Now, I had this on. We had this on our computer. I don't know if anyone else did, but pinball. I think Space Pinball, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was called. Or something like that. Last but not least, this one I think about a lot, especially around Christmas. And I hope I'm not the only one who played it. Well, me and my sister. Elf bowling. I hope everyone who clicked on this, who grew up in this era, actually, you know, grew up in the 90s. I hope you played that too. I can hear it in my head. Or like I thought of recently, I don't know what made me think of it. I think it was an ad that come up while playing one of my games on my phone. But there was another bowling game. I hate that I don't remember the name. But there was a Shrek version. They had I think like one where you can pick out certain like snow animals, we'll call it, well, like a polar bear, and I think a penguin, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember what it's called and I hate it, but if you can remember, if you know what I am talking about, Like they look like they're like on a giant tube, you know, like a tire tube or something. I believe. Or yeah, I think that's what it was. I'm gonna have to look these up because I hate that I don't remember. But I hope everyone else knows what I'm talking about. You know? So there's my little growing up in the 90s nostalgic moment. I hope that majority of everyone who clicked on this is my age or fairly close and felt that nostalgia that I was talking about just now. I hope we all had that moment. I hope you miss it just as much as I do. Because again, I could go back. Definitely would. Yeah. Certain things I would probably like cut out, you know, but other than that, I definitely go back. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope again you got that nostalgic feeling like I did. And even as I typed it out on my tablet, thumbs it up, subscribe, and as always, stay safe out there, and I will see you guys